Welcome to Focus on Liberia. You just heard Blessed Up by Sirweah. And surely we are blessed if we are living and we are not in the hospital today suffering from coronavirus for sure. So that was Blessed Up by Sirweah. And we have Sirweah today in the building with us or live with us today to talk about his upcoming album, Prince of the West. So we want to tell Sirweah welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And if you're tuning in, this is Focus on Liberia, where we promote and educate on all things Liberia. We've had the opportunity to have Sirweah here with us in February of this year, right? Before the world turned upside down. And when he was here last time with us, he discussed that he had a new drive to go even harder with his music and really push his music career forward. So before we begin, can you please introduce yourselves again briefly to us, let our audience know who you are and what it is that you do?
Sure thing. Like you said, my name is Sirweah. I'm a Liberian, born recording artist. I'm based in the States right now in Philly, but I'll call myself like a creative director in all sense because I like to get my hands in every kind of creative work. But right now, I'm a self-run independent label artist right now. So yeah.
Well, again, welcome and thank you so much for coming. I want to just jump right into it. We're here today to discuss your album, Prince of the West. Okay, so to get this started, let's take a look at your cover art, right? It looks really great. It looks amazing. So who was the photographer and what was the concept for the album cover?
That was my guy Bixer. Shout out to Bixer. I think I had called him in the midst of me completing the album, and I already kind of had a visual idea that I wanted to go for the cover art. Can you hear me clearly?
I'm sorry?
I was just making sure you can hear me clearly.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so just the idea behind like just trying to present this person that was like kind of, I guess you didn't really know where he was as far as like a location, but you can tell that he was very like into nature, you know what I'm saying? Or he was pretty much like, I guess, owning, wherever surrounding he was in. And you can also see with the crown on my head too, not being able to see the crown. It's not like a big crown, it's more like a cloth crown that Oman sell back in Africa. So I used that idea because I wanted to sell me trying to make music that's not only like Western as far as Western America or the diaspora, but also like African as well too. So me being the Prince of the West, that was me pretty much absorbing like my kingdom. That was kind of what the cover art was about. So that's the one I chose. We shot a couple more, like probably like 20, 30 pictures, but that one stuck out to me.
Okay, nice. It looks great. So why Prince of the West? How did you come up with that name or that title?
That name has been long in the making, and I'm so glad that like it's matured to what it is now because they used to call me like Southwest when I first went to Philly. Because that's the area where like all the Liberians are pretty much like, squeezed at, right? So when I was around there, I guess me just kind of really coming out my music a little bit more. People started, like that was the only like they wanted to say Southway too as well too. But they wanted to say so they started calling me Southwest. And then when I started putting out more music now, it's just actually started calling me like Fresh Prince for a little bit. So I'm like, okay, no, I don't want to be no Will Smith, but I'd rather call myself Fresh Prince of the West, right? So I started using that name and started going with that before I knew. I'm like, matter of fact, I don't be anything, no Fresh Prince, just call me Prince of the West. But then I started using the idea more, and I'm like, yo, I really do have music right now. I'm not trying to put my own crown on it. That's why I didn't call myself the King of the West, because I feel like this is the beginning stage of what I'm creating. So I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm the only person right now that's really pushing like the African music in the way that it's going right now. Like, I'm really trying to like create this dance floor where American people and African people can come together and still like speak the same musical language. That was the whole idea of the project. So I'm like, okay, since I'm the person, I guess, kind of like go in that direction, I'm gonna call myself the prince of that idea. And they already been calling me the Prince of the West already. So I just wanted to expound on that idea. And I think the music that I even put into it is so like perfectly blended that people in America here that are African, you can jam to it. Even Americans, Cambodians, wherever it is, they can come to my party and jam to those songs. But you can still take it back home to Africa and still make sense with it. You hear songs like All Eyes on Me, where you have the old school why yeah, like you still have the Ghana influences, the African influences into the music, but you still get like the Western influence as well. So I wanted to create that image, and that's kind of what like I kind of did with that. That's where like the idea came from. So it's a
Okay.
little bit, but then it led into like using it as a branded marketing, but no idea.
All right, so it looks like I was on the right track. So when I initially heard Prince of the West, I was thinking, okay, Prince of West Africa, or is it Prince of like Western music? And so I was thinking, and then I guess that goes to Prince of West Philly also.
Right, all that,
Um,
yeah.
so with all those different influences of music, you know, when we talk about West Africa, we're talking Liberia, where there's Wema music. We're talking Ivory Coast,
Right,
you know,
right,
it's that Francophone influence.
all that.
And we talk about Western culture, right? That's your pop music, your rap music. And
Right.
I'm sure Southwest Philly has its own music. So,
Fuck yeah. We got
so
the whole thing out.
all that together, would you say all of those things influence your music?
Definitely.
Heard in your music?
Right. That's where my excitement came from. Like coming to Philly, like, man, I was just like so inspired because like I see so many different sounds. I mean, I hear so many different sounds. I see so many different like styles, right? You see, like you said, the trap code. You got people who are even doing Wema on the side too. Like, and then like there's like this thing we have out here called the after hours. Shout out to Philly, bro. Like Philly has such a big culture, right? But you come to the after hours, right? And you have people playing all their favorite music. So like you as a person, you're hearing everybody's different sounds from different places. So it's like there's many of that in Philly. So you come in Philly, it's like a melting pot. You have the Cambodians that are eating potato greens. You have Black American eating like, and mind you, I come from a time where we were getting like chased and fought every single day in school for being African. And now time has changed. Now where like is a cultural common ground where people love the African culture. They want to know more about it. And I'm an African coming from me not being proud of it at some point. Like that was a huge excitement that all just like I just oozed that all into the music. Like I wish I could show more. That was even me, that was like why I even paused the EP, because I feel like they need to get what kind of culture we have out here. Like the diaspora, we have a different culture. It's a different sound. It's Africa, like just modernized a little bit too. So how can I show that to the world? And like you're saying, even the trap code sound is dope. Shout out to the LIB Foreign, the Phil Caesar, those guys are changing the whole sound of what Liberian music sounds like, and we're putting the American, the Western vibe into it too. I have a song with them on the project too, and that's the reason I put them on that project, because like, are you kidding me? Like it's not the regular African music. We're taking it to a whole different place now, and I don't know where it's going entirely, but I'm just glad to be a part of this shifting moment right now. That's I love the culture, man. I love everything about it. But yeah.
I love it. I love it. So let's jump right into the album. But before we do, based on everything we were just talking about, coming from your last album, Aphrodisiac, to this album, Prince of the West, what was the goal? What did you want to be communicated in this album? What was going to be different from the last album?
I think I kept saying that this one is a little more dark. It's funny, I just had an interview with a friend of mine too. We're talking about, she actually helped me with my branding the last time. And the sound that I came from before, even Aphrodisiac, was very optimistic, very conscious, very pop. And I still have a little bit of that in me too, but I feel like I've been like drenched in like the African culture more when I came to Philly. So like the sound now is very Afro driven, but it's also kind of like, it has like a pop like vibe to it, but it's very dark, right? It's very mature. Prince Aphrodisiac was no towards a female a little bit too, but it wasn't as sensual or very, up direct about like my sexual preferences. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like this music right now is more seductive, it's more sensual, but it still has the classic taste to it. That's how I see it. And that was my aim. My aim was to definitely make a more mature project, because even I had times just sitting with like some of my fans and they're listening to the music like, oh, this sounds good, but like you need to get dirty a little bit. Like they're giving me advice, so I'm like, we're chilling, but I'm taking it in. Like they're telling me like I need to upgrade the sound more. They're telling me I need to give myself more as far as being honest about my sexuality, my preferences. Even though I'm a man of God, I still have like a lot of sexual vibes that I want to put into the music that you can carry home and enjoy it too. So I feel like that was the intention behind this project, kind of getting everybody, their mom, their dad, the girls, everybody to move, especially the females.
Okay, cool. So let us play some of the first song, which is Comment Tu t'appelles, featuring, is it A Busy? Okay.
Okay, baby, be a lady. Come on to t'appelles. Baby, what's your name? Come on to t'appelles. Baby, what's your name? Oh, comment tu t'appelles? Baby, what's your name? Comment tu t'appelles? Baby, what's your name? Oh, I'm gonna meet it what you want to. Told you that I'm meeting on your front. Baby, get a minute when I set it. Whatever you want, I know that I want to. I want it, you got that want it. something, you got the something. Oh yeah, you got the something. Oh yeah. What's your name?
Okay. So that was Comment tout appel. So the title is French for What is Your Name? So did you spend any time in like an African francophone, like Ivory Coast or Guinea?
My family did. I wish I did. No, but I didn't.
Okay.
That's why I didn't even speak no French in the song, because like I had to like change the whole. But I had somebody was helping me write like a French lyrics to it. It was so hard. I was trying to get it. It wasn't working for me. So I just put like one line in the song, a few lines where it's like, we don't even speak the same language, but baby, I'm listening. So the whole idea is like just already like visually is already structured now, like where I don't speak your language, but I'm still trying to know your name. I just had to go that route because I couldn't speak the language.
Okay, and so that's what I was wondering, right? So have you ever found yourself in a situation where you were interested in someone, but you guys didn't speak the same language? And that could be like an actual language, or sometimes it could be that you and someone else are not on the same wavelength or just don't see things the same. So you ever been in that situation?
Many times. People tend to like, I guess, prejudge you in a sense. So they don't want to like, they keep you in a certain like, I guess, mental box. So they don't want to like get to know you outside of that. People are like actually like using like the zodiac sign nowadays as like a reason why they can't date you. Because like, oh yeah, your sign is toxic. That baffles me. But yeah, I've dealt with that before. But then I've also dealt with just like you said, whether it's like actual language. I actually dated like a French girl one time. That was before the song came out. I actually sent the song to her and she loved the song. But there was a little barrier because she could speak like good enough English, but sometimes she would have to like switch it into French and then like tell me what it means because she didn't know the English like equivalent word of it. But yeah, I think that's the only kind of situation other than like actual people not like you said, us not being on the same wavelength. Many times like it's very easy. Once I get to that point where I feel like we're definitely not connecting, it's easy for me to just separate from you. You know what I'm saying? But it hurts when it's somebody you really want to do it with, you really want to like make it work with, and then like they have their preconceptions about you. They're like, nah, I'm like either you're a Scorpio or you're a light-skinned musician, so you they say you have mad, excuse me for the word, or definitely have mad side chicks. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
I've dealt with that.
That's definitely different languages.
Different languages. Trust me. I'm just trying to let you know how I feel, and all you getting is like, yeah, F-boy mentality, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And that was gonna be my next question. So if the song was inspired by a situation where you were dating someone who was French. So I guess you answered that already. So we'll go on to the next one, African Drip. We're gonna play a quick, I think 30 or 40 seconds of that.
Okay.
I walk in the club and I'm looking fresh. Got African change and African jewelry all on my neck. Yeah, I got that drip on me. 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 I was all on my grind, trying to stay in my lane. Till they pass me in the crowd, they call me the prince. I'm so fresh and clean, yeah. How you gonna stop that? Pull up in the top bag. No, we do not act. All of my guys really bout, yeah. And tonight we living like some Africans, cause all my men are really Africans. Diamonds richer than the motherland. They say for China, this in front Japan. If you wanna, I can show you, man. Show you how to really live it out. How to party like an African. Couple diamonds when you stepping out.
All right, so the song or the clip that you just heard, snippet that you heard was African Drip, which is my personal favorite of the album. I really like how it marries the trap code with, or not trap code, but the trap music with the African vibe. So like, how did this song come about? How did you write it? Yeah, I'll start there.
No, it was an accident. There was another song that was like, we literally walked in the studio. I was leaving for work. My brother and Jay Austin was coming into the studio to record, and then we found the beat. And before I left for work, I'm like, I heard him saying that part, I got that drip on me. I'm like, what? I gotta come into that. So I just laid my then I left. But then before I left, we were all talking like, yo, we should do something like this. We should definitely do like, ever since like back in the day, like a DJ Khaled music video where it had like Akon, Lil Wayne, everybody in one video. That's what we wanted to do. And I've always wanted to do that, especially with the dope artists that are in Philadelphia, like within America, in the diaspora. So afterwards, we just started calling people, and that's how we got the rest of the people onto it.
Okay, because I was gonna ask, This song had a lot of collaborations. How did the collaborations come about?
Just vibes. My brother was really the like instrumental into it. Like you want to put up his name camera real quick? He shy a little bit, but yeah, he was the one calling everybody like, yo, he called LIB foreign, he brought Jay Austin in the studio. But I'm like, okay, matter of fact, yo, just lay all them Jones down, just lay everything down. I remember like when he left, I had like just structured every song because like it was everywhere at first. I just structured everything like to kind of feel like one cohesive song. We were not all in the studio. We all literally came at different.
Okay.
But I was like, yo, if we do this, we gonna kill it. And it just came out like that.
I think you guys definitely did that. So I've heard LIB Forum before. I follow him. Someone I hadn't heard before was a lady, Monica Reed, is it?
Ooh, shout out to Monica Reed, man. Yeah, that's our queen right here in Philly, man. She be killing stuff too as well.
I think she did an awesome job on the track. So let me give you a lyric here. It says, I walk in the club and I'm looking fresh. The African chains, the African jewels, they're all on my neck, right? So what is your idea of African drip?
I mean, it can be really simple. It can go from simple to crazy. Like this right here is a simple version, of course.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I got the African map and I have to show that every time. You seen like the Ghanaian chiefs with like the all of the you know what I'm saying? That's our drip right there. And even a line that Foreign said where like you get your stuff from abroad, I get my, and you said you get your stuff from the mall, I get mine from abroad. So like everything we wear, like we got to make sure we have at least one or two shining real African jewelry on us. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the African drip. And then nowadays, like in our new Western culture, I would call it the new land of the West now. That's the new people. Everything we have always have to have a mixture of both Africa and America kind of infused into it. And that's why the music even has that too. You will see it in the music video as well too. So that's for me is what African drip is now. Our definition of African drip. You know what I'm saying? It's African pieces, taking the African jewelry, everything, just infusing with our style. I might be wearing like a regular something like this, but I might have like a real African chain on like that too. Now that's an African drip. That's
okay. Now I was thinking even some of your drip, some of the your album like photos, you had a really nice like Ankara jacket on. I thought that was real nice.
Yeah,
so any shout out there? Who was the designer on that?
NYB. Listen, the past year, every video that I've done, I've gotten like at least about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably a whole suitcase of like drip from him. It's like that's the kind of relationship we have. So he's been very instrumental in like me helping me sell my story as far as the Prince of the West. Like that's the perfect outfit right there. So shout out to NYB. You already know what it is.
Nice. It's a nice jacket. Cool. Okay. Let's listen to something next. So it's something featuring Prazzy.
Prazzy, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Da, 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 da. Give me something. Baby, give me something. Yeah, give me something. Yeah, in the morning. Come and put it on me. Yeah, put it on me. Yeah, give me something. Baby, give me something. Yeah, give me something. Yeah, in the morning. Pull up on me in the morning. Yeah, put it on me.
Baby, just give me something. Yeah, you know it's more than just that one thing. But I ain't really down with all the front end. So baby, tell me if you want that one thing, baby. Girl, you got me tempted to touch, but I ain't really saying too much. But deep down, you know, girl, what's up? Cause if I might really won't feel your love, baby, just give me something. Baby, you got just what I wanted. I wanna see you in the morning. Baby, you got just what I wanted. Baby, give me one night. Promise I do your body so right. Don't leave you, baby, no lie. Baby, you got just what I wanted, baby.
All right, so that was something featuring Prazzy by Sirweah off of his recent or his new upcoming album, Prince of the West. If you're just joining us, we are talking to Sirweah today to discuss this album, Prince of the West, give it a listen, and talk about it. So welcome to Focus on Liberia. Please like, share, comment. So we just played something, and some of the lyrics, baby, give me something. Baby, you got what I'm wanting. I want to see you in the morning. So this is probably one of the racier songs on the album, right? And I think you did say earlier that this album was supposed to be a little bit more sensual. So this song definitely gives me like R&B vibes, Latin vibes, a little bit of like Ed Sheeran feel to it. So a lot of things going on, and I liked it. So what's the something that you're talking about? And like for the ladies out there who are interested, what are you wanting? What are you looking for in a partner?
It really depends on the situation. It depends on what the person is, I guess, looking for. Something could be more about like, okay, you're giving me a vibe, whether like a flirtatious vibe, and I want to get more of that. That might be the something, right? Or it might be, okay, you got a vibe that, okay, you have us. Because me personally, I really approach females based on like their aura and what they tell me as far how they carry themselves. So if you have a vibe where like, okay, you're trying to have a good time, okay, cool, that's the something, that might be the vibe. But if the vibe is more about you being like, okay, I want to take it longer. Like I said, I want to see you in the morning. So it's like, I'm not. It's not about me just trying to see you tonight and then dip out tonight. I'm saying I want to see your face in the morning as well too. So it really depends on what you want, what you're giving me. So something could be. That's why I ain't really expound on what something is.
Okay, I like that. And in terms of what you're wanting, what is it you're looking for in a partner?
Okay, as far as partners, I like independent-minded females. Like, I think I still believe in like the whole idea of chasing females, right? I think it's not only is like a part that's built in us, we enjoy, but when it's the right person, a female who has her own thing together, and I'm saying where they feel like it feels like a privilege to be a part of your life because your life is already together. I like a female like that. I like a female who has her own thoughts, her own head on her shoulders. She can be herself around me. I like an independent-minded female. Cool. That's very, very sexy to me.
And so, like, what mood do you want this song to evoke? Like, at what time do you envision somebody playing this song?
Man, this is like it's like a soundtrack. The moment I see that female I want to talk to, I can hear this in the background, like doo, 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 doo. I just imagine like whether it's like it can be a playful thing too, where like it's probably you and your spouse in the crib together. Probably get down to the song. You know what I'm saying, give me something like it's okay to be sexual. I want that. Matter of fact, that's one of my key things too. I want to make music that you can still it can be promiscuous if you need it to be, but you can still have that time with your spouse in your crib and listen to every single song, and every lyric can be about that person. So like you can definitely play it with your wife or your girlfriend in the crib before y'all get down. Play that song. Give me something. You know what I'm saying, I don't know, date night, whatever it is. For any kind of like sensual vibe, it's perfect. Okay.
And so who is the feature on this song, and how did you link up and decide like this is the song you wanted him on?
It was another that was a perfect accident. Like he's actually a videographer. Like he raps as well too, but he's more on the visual side. So he came to the studio one time and we're playing around and we found that beat as well too. And that do it was a joke, but I'm like, yo, we're recording that part. And for some reason we actually recorded it, I think the same weekend we played for like everybody, my little nieces, my little nephews. I'm sorry, but I played for everybody and they heard it and like everybody loved that part. So like, okay, it's one on the album. Yeah.
We're keeping it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the music is just making itself.
Yeah, it's just about having a good time with it.
That's cool. All right. And so next up on the album is Complicated by featuring AJ Money. So let's give this one a listen.
Baby girl, I know that you've been pissed, yeah. 'Cause I've been on the road and you've been missing. But girl, you know I gotta go and get this bag, yeah. And truthfully ain't got time for emotion. But baby, if you gotta keep it open, wanna see you move your body like an ocean. Yeah, what you want? Tell me what you want. I know that you miss me every time I'm gone. Yeah, what you need? Tell me what you need. I know that you miss me every time I leave. Okay, what you want? Tell me what you want. I got what you want. You just gotta hit my phone. Yeah, what you need? Tell me what you need. I know that you miss me every time I leave. Oh, baby.
She said she need a rude boy, a guy with a good one, the one from the hood, yeah.
Oh, baby.
She said she need a rude boy, a guy with a good one, the one from the hood, yeah.
Baby.
Noisy boy, I told my shawty that the money keep calling, so that means you know I gotta slide. Yeah, I gotta slide. But I hate it when I leave my baby feeling empty-handed, so I gotta spend some mile. Yeah, I gotta spend some mile. Yeah, I'm complicated and that she driving you crazy, but you love me all the same. Yeah, she love me all the same. How could you tell me that you done with everything when I was only trying to give you everything? What you want, ayy? 100 carats, couple trips to Milan, ayy. Mama told me I ain't getting in the young, no. So if you ready, then I'm ready on guard, ayy. If you ready, tell your daddy, tell the chiefs, let him know. I'ma pull up in your village, 100 deep, 100 thou, 100 cows, 100 sheep. What you need? Fresh prince, so you know I'm with the chiefs. Say my name, Wesley boy.
Baby girl, I'm sorry that I got you waiting. I know that it's so frustrating, but honestly it's complicated. Ooh, I don't really mean to keep you waiting. I know it's so frustrating, but honestly I'm just so.
Okay, so that was Complicated by Sirweah featuring AJ Money. And so that song gave me, I guess, an Afrobeat kind of feel, and I enjoyed that. So in the beginning and in the background vocals, like there's something that's being looped. Is that a sample or was someone in the studio?
No, that was definitely a sample. I'm trying to figure out who it was too, but it's a sample.
Okay, I love it. I love it. And so when we think about complicated relationships, you know, these days we use the word situationships. So have you been in a complicated situationship that helped inspire this song?
I think almost every one of my exes or everyone, yeah, they've all called me complicated at some point. So the moment I heard, I'm like, yo, man, no, I've been waiting for like trying to find the right song to just express that side. So like when I heard that beat, I'm like, okay, this can be the time to actually enjoy it. I just like, I'm owning it now. But yeah, they all call me complicated. I'm complex. I'm too much. Yeah. So
this one was just inspired by your personal relationships, your own situation.
Just me owning it now. I think that's what it is. Yeah. This project was about me, like I just accepting the dark side of myself as well too. So that was a part of it.
Okay. And then up next on the album is Hakuna Matata. So let's hear a snippet of that.
Come on. But it's more than what you see. It's not a make-believe. It's what the hustle did to me. Oh yeah. So every night before I sleep, I thank God for blessing me. I know my angel's watching me. So yeah. Hakuna Matata. Don't worry about it, nobody. I just wanna stack up my dollars. Yeah, my dollars, yeah, my dollars, yeah. Hakuna Matata. Yeah. Don't worry about it, nobody. Yeah. I just wanna stack up my dollars. My dollars, yeah, my dollars.
Okay, so that was Hakuna Matata, and that is my second favorite song on the album. And Hakuna Matata, for those who don't know, means like no troubles or no worries in Swahili, right? Okay, so you do say in the song, you don't know the half of what I've been through, the type of stuff that probably would have changed you. I'm thanking God I came through. So what are you referring to? What are some hardships that you have experienced?
I think my share of, you know, the ups and downs that everybody deals with, but it's just everybody has their own interpretation of it. You know what I'm saying? So like what I've been through, you probably could not have handled it because it's not meant for you in a sense. It's just only meant for me. So I'm saying like, yeah, you could never understand what I went through, whether it is dealing with hunger or dealing with, you know, isolation, whatever it is. Everything that I've done, I've gone through has been like little pieces to add to like myself that kind of made me like who I am today. And that can never be related to you exactly. So that was the only, I don't really want to like, I guess, go into too much detail, like the things I've actually gone through, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't really talk about it exactly as well too. But yeah, things that, you know, like with the decisions that you could have made, it kind of leads you like the completely wrong path, you know what I'm saying? And I had to stick around and still wait for God's time instead of me taking my wrong path. So it's more of those and a lot of the mental things too as well too. A lot of the mental battles that should have driven other people crazy.
And so in the song, you also talk about your hustle. So like, what does the hustle look like for you to pursue a music career in an industry that seems not to necessarily be so lucrative at this time, while like trying to maintain and survive in America? So what does your hustle look like? What does it involve?
There's a lot of investing like your own capital into your creative work, right? So having to balance like, okay, I have to handle my personal life, my real life, and also like invest into my creative life too as well too. To come home and deal with the real world and then go back into the studio and have to create something for other people to enjoy as well too. So a lot of those things, a lot of those struggles. But like the hustle for me, I've always been blessed, I would say. I'm saying to be able to use the little things that I have to invest in my music. So my hustle is not really more like I said, other people probably had it worse than I have. But like I guess for me now, I've gone from like you said, trying to make music like lucrative for me, and that's been more of the struggle. Like I've been like making mad sacrifices that other people wouldn't be, willing to make. You know what I'm saying? Give up time and resources that other people wouldn't even, like would be willing to make. And I think that that's like my real hustle right there. That's for me. It's not all about just me being in the street. Now I have like opportunities I had, and that's the worst part, where I could be in the street as well too, doing those things. I have, like I said, the access to them very, very easily. But it's me still choosing to have that hope, even if I don't see the lucrative returns, and still being faithful in that. That for me right there, that's the worst part right there. Because other people, that they're still doing the side thing, doing this and this and that on the side. But then so it's like they're not really worried about this. But like for me right here is a huge passion. So I put a big chunk of, I'm just not learning to enjoy my life now. I'm just not learning to relax and not focus too much on the music. But like my obsession with this thing is so huge that like I put everything into it. Like I don't let anything distract me from it. So I'm just not learning to relax. But that was my real hustle right there, putting everything into the music. But yeah.
And talking about putting everything into the music other than money, but also time. So like, what does your time look like, in terms of putting it into your craft, your passion, and then also having to handle your own personal business? What does the time look like for you?
It can be very jumbled up, to be honest with you. Like I'm just now learning to even balance my time and how to separate my time. But before, like I said, I'm so obsessed with this, even if it's work, even when I'm at work. They know to respect me when I'm doing my at work. My headphones are in 24/7. I'm obsessed about like a new idea. I'm either writing something down on the paper or in my phone or going to the studio. And I'm blessed to have like my own studio in my crib now. So when I sometimes I leave work, and instead of me going to sleep, I have work in the morning, I'm up in the studio until like probably 3, 4. We're in the studio having a good vibe. And it's just that like just the decision to make, to do that creates other songs. So like I have to like, it's not even like, I don't even make myself anymore. I just literally enjoy like just doing it entirely. So like everything I do, like whether I'm at work or at home, I have to learn to separate it. That's the honest truth, because I'm doing it everywhere, whether it's in the shower or everywhere.
Okay. So because it is your passion, it's not really work. It's not, it's a sacrifice, but it's not difficult to do.
It's difficult to do because of the independence. That's the part that makes it very, very hard. That's the hustle part right there. Like people say they're independent, but they have like a little team of this person that, but like literally right now, like I'm doing like my brother's with me right now on the side right now. Like that's my new team, but when it comes to shooting videos. But like everything that I do is me sitting down, like making sure I have to put the plan together first and then actually get the pieces together myself. I have to be a part of every single piece of my production. Not because I wanted to, because I had to. Because like you said, no, I'm more crazy about it than anybody else. So I can't even explain that. Like I go crazy with stuff, but I'm learning to calm down now and just let God just do the other part. Which I don't want to even like give too much of that story, but like now like I'm letting God like lead it, as far as he's like literally like my manager now, in a sense. Like I let him like open doors that I can't open on my own. And that's what it was before. I was so insane about this that I wanted to rush everything until like he's like, okay, I can do much more with so much little. So I have to just relax now. He's actually giving me a relaxing season to relax and watch him open doors. But before this, I was a maniac for me. But now you can calm down with it.
Do you think the pandemic also helped you calm down? I think it helped to calm down a lot of us.
It did. Like it forces you to trust, like to find like your actual source. Like if you trust in like whether it's like even the people that go to church as well too. Like they go to church, but like they go there to do like the activities without actually having the relationship. So now the church is broken down. Now they have to either like build that relationship or like they see they don't have it themselves. So like being in isolation shows you like what your raw materials are, and it's like it's also a slap in your face because God's like, what are you gonna do with it? Like do with it now. You have all this time, all these resources now. What are you gonna do with it? So it's like it's a gift and a curse. I love it, but
okay. And so you talk about being independent, and so really, can you just explain what that is, who you're working with, who is your team?
Right. Yeah. I definitely have like a like a PR team that really helps me. They're built off of like friends that are genuinely interested in the music. First and foremost, because that's what it takes first. But as far as like an actual management team, I was just part of a team, but I left the team though because I just felt like this was the time for me to be solo. Like I said, the relationship that I'm building with God now is about me just seeing how He can move things for me without me having to overdo myself. Right. So I had to go independent. So a lot of the creative work, the production, or a lot of that, a lot of the visual, the studio, everything, the mark. I hate y'all up for this. And I'm saying like this, like I do all. I have to sit down and really, but God really just puts all these ideas in my head and plants it in my head. And I'm saying so, it's really more of like my conversation with Him. He's like my creative team, and then I have an outside creative team. So that's how it works. But independent wise though, it's definitely not easy. Like if you're not obsessed about your work, you're definitely not gonna go far with it, because I have times where I put out good ass body work and I'm looking at it like the numbers don't really match with me. I'm like, no, it should be way better. But then it's like I'm insanely in love with making not only just making other people feel good with music. So like I can't even leave it if I want to. So like I'm just like stuck in it. But now like I'm gonna keep going to that part. I have a new manager now. I have God as a manager. I have God as my manager team now. So the independent life it's not scary for me now. It's more of like a fun journey to see what challenges we can overcome together. That's what it is for me. So it's I have a good team with me.
Well, that's a positive outlook on that. Okay. So let's hear the next song, Wickedest Wine, featuring AJ Money and Sound Prince.
Yeah, you got the wickedest wine, yeah. Fill 'em in and give me one time, yeah. Do you remember used to love it when I hit you on the phone? Now my calls you declining.
Just pick up. Yeah, let's link up. Pull up in a pick up. When man a come through, he's a stick up.
She like the vibe, so she give me non-stop. I put that down, then I give her from top. Baby, come and ride and forget the bus stop. Mommy food the place, yeah, this one a lunchbox. Say my African woman, says she want Gucci designer. Get me happy, take you to China, because she got the wickedest wine.
All right, so you just heard Wickedest Wine by Sirweah featuring AJ Money and Sound Prince. So I get a very heavy like Nigerian Afrobeat feel from this song. So what was the inspiration behind this song?
I was actually in the studio with my Nigerian artist friend, Sound Prince. And so like I think my other guy, he's from Salon, so he found the beat. No matter of fact, he's producing the beat and he had an archive, so he found the beat in his folder. And he was like, "Yo, we trying to do a feature," so I needed the feature already, and that's how we just had like 3 of us in the studio. But that's the reason why it sounds very, very like Nigerian, kind of like that kind of vibe. Because even though he was sleeping, I'm very good at like assisting other people's style and vibes. So like I was just already in that aura with him already. So I remember like I even woke him up and sang his part a little bit, like, "Yo, you should do something like this," because like he got a huge like Nigerian / like island vibe.
Yeah.
And both of them, that's what they both have. So like I was just influenced, but I'll just pick it back and off of like their style. I'm putting out like a video documentary of it in the next like week or two, and if you see us in the studio, you can tell like, okay, I might be really being myself. Honestly, I'm just submerging into the environment I was in, and that was like the Nigerian style and the island vibe. So that's really what it was all about.
Cool. And so I guess you already explained who you collaborated on this song with. So Sound Prince is a Nigerian artist that you're friends with?
Yes.
Okay. And AJ Money is?
Salon. He's a Salon dancehall artist. So
okay.
Patois, yeah.
Nice. And then we have All Eyes on Me, right? And so for All Eyes on Me, we're going to play the video. So we'll play it, and when we get back, then you'll tell us about the video, how it was made, where it was made. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, na. So yeah. Put no on day, all black everything. I know you only rolling with me, cause I'm pulling up in a foreign thing. Yeah, I know you like that. Real ass nigga, don't act back. if I take a L, bounce right back. Feel like Akon, cause I think I might smack that. When we walk inside the club, all the shawties wanna hug. VIP by the sun, so they wanna say what's up. I remember I was down, ain't nobody show me love, cause the money on me now. All eyes on me, the girls that my into me. Shawty really feeling me, she loving the energy, yeah. Wanna get a little chemistry, I don't worry about her enemy, don't let them get close to me. I know that you're watching me, yeah, but I'm too busy doing me. Oh yeah, gotta work, gotta get on my grind. I don't really like wasting no time. Little mama keep on blowing my line. Ain't talking money, so I had to decline.
Yeah, cause mines ain't tryna find no love. I'm just tryna cop a Bentley truck. Tryna make sure that my mama get a cut. This ain't luck, but I think we getting way too deep. Switch it up, bring it back to the beat. Little mama moving 1, 2, 3. And she tryna put it right on me. Get it, y'all room or not. Fake niggas standing one corner. I'm ballin' like a footballer. Got me feeling like I'm George Weah. Pussy boy, yeah. I like that, yeah. Yeah, slum life, yeah. Yeah, pussy boy, come on. I remember that. Yeah, you remember that. Yeah, now they want it now.
All eyes on me, the girls that my into me.
I'm really feeling me.
Shawty really feeling me.
I'm really into me.
She loving the energy.
You love my energy.
Chemistry. Don't worry about her enemy.
Pussy boy, yeah.
Get close to me.
Slum life, yeah.
I know that you're watching me.
Can you stand up?
Too busy doing me.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
It's 8 o'clock.
All right, so you just saw the music video for All Eyes on Me by Sirweah. So he's gonna tell us about the video, where it was shot, and how it came together.
Oh yeah, we shot that. We shot actually a little piece of both. We shot some in Atlantic City, and we shot the rest of them, most of it, in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. I think we wanted to go out there with the team to just really show like this. I guess that was right after the EP was done, so that was just pretty much celebration for us. And I just used the opportunity to just kind of just shoot that whole environment, that whole vibe, and just document it. So you can see it felt like a document, like a vlog type music video. So that's why I wanted to kind of really go for it, because it wasn't really about the music video; it was about just us celebrating it. And then the song itself, being All Eyes on Me, was just really talking about, I guess, the success of coming from nothing to something. So I wanted to show that a little bit in the video. Yeah.
Okay, so I know last time you were with us, you talked about also kind of producing videos and writing videos yourself, like just out of necessity, being an independent artist. So did you also direct this video?
Yeah, I think the last videos, all the videos I've been doing for the past year or two has been like, dominantly like my production, but yeah, I'm trying to push it to more like to film now, hopefully, God willing.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been my production so far.
So I love the sample at the beginning. So you know where it came from?
You know where it came from?
Where?
You know where it came from?
No.
I keep that's still a challenge I have out still, and only one person really answered it, so I don't want to give it to. I'll give it to you. Kofi NT, yeah, from Ghana.
Okay,
Yep.
I love it.
Odo.
Feels like a beautiful infusion of just African culture into the song. I love that.
But then if you actually listen to it too, though, the actual hook, the no, not the hook, the line that goes that was something that I didn't even know at first, but it was subconsciously just embedded in me. But it's from like an old Brandy song, apparently.
And I was gonna bring that up.
And that's the beauty of it right there, how we've been like raised in these both cultures. Like my sister back in Liberia listened to the song, and I didn't even think about it until I got the song recorded. It was done. I was like, oh, you know who that is, right? I'm like, what? And then I'm like, okay, it makes sense. My sister used to play the whole album for me. You know what I'm saying? So
I see.
I just
Because I noticed that the Brandy Full Moon chorus.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, was that intentional? Was that a salute to Brandy? No, it wasn't intentional.
my biggest crush. What? I have a big crush on Brandy. What?
Uh,
That's my baby. So yeah, definitely. Even like salute to her. She's amazing. So yeah.
and anyone who is a singer, that should definitely be their vocal crush because
Yeah,
she is amazing.
that was owed to her. I'm glad it happened to her. I didn't plan it, but I'm glad it happened.
Mhm.
I hope she hears it. Like yo, yeah. Hope she'll bad me.
Looking at the lyrics, so it says, if I take an L, I bounce right back. So what are some L's you've had to take in this industry, and what gives you the motivation to bounce back?
We still taking L's right now. We still taking L's. I'm not talking about it, but
Okay.
there's gonna be a lot of L's we're gonna take that you're gonna take in the game, and you're gonna keep taking. You just have to learn from it. But me, just teaming up with the wrong people, trusting the wrong people, being a part of the wrong, family. You know what I'm saying a lot of those things. Even like when it comes to even shows, I remember like even sometimes like my manager made a mistake. Like I remember performing at like a show and having only 2 people there, and the other person that was there was because they wanted to be nice because they everybody already left already. They wanted to be like I've been like crazy stuff, but you know what I'm saying? Like I remember me and my manager at the time talking about it, and I'm like, yo, yeah, I'm mad right now, but this is gonna be a good story to talk about in the future. So like I just took that as a part of the journey. But L's they keep coming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So what's the motivation to bounce back?
You have to take an L in order to win. You have to take an L in order to win. You have to. It's an industry. You don't know what you're getting into. There's so many ropes of the industry you don't know about. Even like, giving my songs to people that I thought I trusted, and then like, people taking my song and running off with it. Even artists in your own industry, like it's a lot of grimy stuff. So I had to go through that to learn it. So a lot of L's. You know what I'm saying, I said, if I take an L, I bounce right back. The girl took my song, ran with the song. I remember like even being so depressed about it, but like, because it was me being very human, like just human, being very like altruistic thing. I was helping somebody out, and then like just doing their action in the back there, like taking my song and making exposure of it, getting gains from it. But that was a lesson, lesson learned. So I bounced back from that. That ain't never gonna happen again. So
Right.
yeah.
Wow. Another portion of the song goes, I know they're watching me, but I'm too busy doing me. So what are some of the just negative vibes, talk, or actions that you've had to endure so far? And just like, I guess, how do you ignore that? How do you ignore it and keep pushing?
Just focus on doing you. But the people that most times it's not even really them like exactly verbalizing it, but it's just I'm very, very, very good with energy. So I can tell when people are not really for you. I always say that's why I'm very good with energy. So not everybody that's around you that's smiling with you, you can tell that they're for you. So I'm very good at watching people, even we're all in the same room, and the people that are not for me, I know them, but I'm too busy enjoying myself and doing me and being me to worry about anybody else thinking. I don't have to react to everybody that is like me. So it's not really more about people just even confronting me, but it's more about, oh, you heard about that, or you heard about that, or you know that nigga's doing that behind you. And I'm like, I'm not surprised by it. Even like people trying to, the first time somebody tried to even steal my own song, even this project, it happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you learn from that too, and they want you to react to it, but I just focus on me, just enjoying my life and just making the most of it. But yeah.
Well, I love that you're so positive about it all, because you definitely have to be strong to, I guess, move forward in this industry. Music industry in general. I don't care where it's from, the U.S., Africa, it's all the same.
All the same. Okay. It's words like Brent and like Brent and Almighty. They got different skills. Though my girl, your man, Cole, man. I just heard about what happened to her with her on the show she had back home. People stealing her ideas as well too. That's the issue right there. But shout out to her too. It's like Brent, they can take industry thing and put on their head and make it worse. But yeah, I'm done.
But those were all 7 songs from the album. So why 7 songs? Why, I guess, a short album?
It's more of like a teaser into what's to come.
Okay.
Projects that's already lined up, but I can't give you a full project without knowing how you even receive this new brand. It's a new image, it's a new style, it's a more darker style. So I have to give it to you in bits first. That's why I just stuck with 7. I have more, but for now, simple and sweet. To go.
A teaser, I like it. So if you're just joining us, we have been listening to Sirweah's newest album, Prince of the West, right? And it's a very I call it diverse album, different music styles, which I love, pulling from different sources. I love it. I encourage everyone to also support. So when is the album dropping and where can we find it, support?
I'm definitely like keeping the release date like under wraps for now because I don't want to just give you guys a date because that kind of puts a pressure on me. For right now, I just want to give you guys a lot of the singles off the project right now until the release date comes. So that's what you should be looking out for. A lot of the new EP, the new songs on the EP are gonna be coming out in the next 2 weeks. A lot of visuals, a lot of those before the EP comes out. I'll call you. I'll let you guys know first before I put it out.
Okay, we appreciate that. So how or where can our audience members follow you on social media or just follow your music?
Sirweah. Once you search that up, whether it's Instagram, is Facebook, is Snapchat, is YouTube, or is Apple Music, just look that up. You'll find all my music right there. My music, my videos, everything. It's available right there. But if you want to find me on Instagram, it's Sirweah Official.
Okay. Thank you so much. But before we go, I mean, anything else you want to share with us? Let us know what's going on or other ways that we can support you.
Definitely right now I have a new merchandise coming out. I have a new clothing line.
Okay.
Right here it's called Prince of the West.
Nice.
Right. We have a whole lot of lines coming out, but for right now I'm just wearing my own bundle right now. Definitely hopefully get a chance to send some little samples to y'all as well too. But that's the main thing I have coming out. I'll be putting out a new teaser for it real soon, so you guys can go out and just actually pre-order it before it comes out.
Nice. Yeah, and please let us know so we can share with our people, with our audience, so they can support you also.
Thank you. Definitely will do. Appreciate you guys.
And again, so this is Prince of the West. And again, just to let our audience know what it is that they should, or what it is you wanted for them to experience and feel on this album.
Prince of the West is really all about like African music, but to like adding more fun to it. You know what I'm saying? It's more about just how we've grown as a culture and more the people that are like from Africa, the diaspora, how we've all come together to create this new culture, right? And that's what I'm really celebrating. We have so much new sound, so much new culture vibes, so much new colors, everything that we have to show to the world now. And I'm saying not only just to America, but also to Africa, because Africa has to see a new sound too. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be one of the people who's excited about sharing the new sound, the new culture to the world. And that's what Prince of the West.
I love it. I think it's a great concept, right? Just how all these cultures have merged and married each other, especially being in America, this melting pot where all of us are kind of forced to be together, meet each other, get to know each other, and be influenced by one another. So right. Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the time. I'm glad you liked it. I hope you go back and jam your own song too.
Hakuna. I will.
What's the other one again? What's your other favorite?
Hakuna Matata. Mm-hmm. And the trap song.
African Drip.
Yes, African Drip.
Jam it. I'll let you know when the video comes out too as well. Appreciate it.
And please follow him on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Support one of our own. And thank you so much for joining us. If you're just coming, you can watch again on YouTube or you can watch again on Facebook once we end this. But you're definitely in for a treat. We have all the snippets off the album. It's just to entice you to support even more. Okay. So thank you again for joining us here on Focus on Liberia. And we'll be back again to educate, promote all things Liberia.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, na, na, na. So, yeah. Pull up no one thing. All black everything. I know you only rolling with me, cause I'm pulling up in a foreign thing. Yeah, I know you like that. Real ass nigga don't act back. If I take a L, I bounce right back. Feel like Akon, cause I think I might expect that. When we walk inside the club, all the shawties wanna hug. VIP by the sun, so they wanna say what's up. I remember I was down, ain't nobody nobody show me love, cause the money on me now. All eyes on me, the girls in my into me. Shawty really feeling me. She loving the energy, yeah. Wanna get a little chemistry. I don't worry about her enemy. Don't let them get close to me. I know that you're watching me, yeah, but I'm too busy doing me. Oh yeah, gotta work, gotta get on my grind. I don't really like wasting no time. Little mama keep on blowing my line. Ain't talking money, so I had to decline.
Yeah, cause mines ain't tryna find no love. I'm just tryna cop a Bentley truck. Tryna make sure that my mama get a cut. This ain't luck, but I think we getting way too deep. Switch it up, bring it back to the beat. Little mama moving 1, 2, 3. And she tryna put it right on me. Get it tall, boom, all now. Fake niggas standing one corner.